Today I'll be presenting CONTROL-M tool, which is used in batch operations, application support, and production support. And I will be explaining you how there are different options used in CONTROL-M and how CONTROL-M is more user-friendly compared to other tools. Then also we'll go through some of the important libraries, tables used in CONTROL-M. So yeah, so let me proceed to the next slide.
Hello.
Yes,
Sorry.
please.
Sorry to interrupt. Just want to know, is this second session is being recorded?
Yes. Venkat is recording it.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead. Proceed.
Not able to take it to the next screen.
Just okay. You want to go to the next slide?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Down arrow, click on down arrow. Page down.
Yes, yes, I tried that.
Okay, yeah, now
okay.
I can see.
Yeah. So, team, as I already discussed that this tool is used in batch operations. So, in this slide, we'll go through what the batch operations and different characteristics of batch operations. Okay, so before proceeding with batch operations, we should know what is actually a batch. So, in a mainframe server runs millions of programs. Okay, so these programs need to be arranged in a particular format so that the business what the client wants, that business should run in a proper way. So for that what they have done is they tried to arrange the programs in a sequential format, like one program is preparing some files, then the second program will be using those files, the third program will be using the database and trying to modify the files, the fourth program will be using the big screens. So all these combinations they will try to merge with each other, all the programs, and there comes an concept called as batch. So a batch process is huge transactions going in a backend for organization to provide different types of reports with manual intervention. Manual intervention in the sense, like suppose there is a program A which is running. Okay, now the programmer wants only certain steps to be uh, certain steps from that program to run. So there comes your manual intervention, and here when it comes to batch, they are saying it is without manual intervention. So batch comes where the program starts executing on its own, and the entire cycle of around 1000 or 500 or whatever programs are there, that will complete automatically without any manual intervention. So some of the examples here is the daily, monthly, quarterly stock updates or your financial transaction details. Okay. So second point what I have given here is a batch job is submitted on computer, reads and process the data in a bulk, perhaps in a teradata of a data, and produces the output, such as customer billing statements. So these are just an example which tries to explain you what is a batch. So this paragraph gives you an overview saying that a batch is a collection of many programs, not even one. A single program will not make you a batch. Okay, a combination of, you can say, 5 program, combination of a 10 program which are running sequentially without any manual intervention, that concept gives you batch. So second is the characteristics of batch processing. What it is large amount of input data is processed and stored. So when we go in a batch processing, we can process huge amount of data. Then to maintain a period of less intensive online activities as prescribed by the service level agreement. So when it comes to production support, batch operations or console operations, we always come with a name word called as SLA. That is our service level agreement. So what is SLA is a particular company which is going to give an support to a client comes up with a certain time or a duration which if it crosses then it will be a business loss to the client. So that time is called as a SLA, that is service level agreement. So using batch processing, we can make sure that at least 90% of the duration we will not cross the SLA, because most of your jobs will be running automatically. Okay, so third point here I have tried to explain you is information is generated about large number of users or a data entities, for example the customer orders or retail stock on hand. Then one more characteristics of batch processing is a scheduled batch process can consist of execution of 100 or 1000 of its jobs in a pre-established sequence. The first thing which I tried to explain in a batch concept, the same point. Okay, so who manages the batch processing? To manage batch processing, different job scheduling tools are used by different organizations. Some of the example what I know is one is your CA7 and one is your Control-M. So why Control-M became more famous is it is more user and interactive, and a fresher who has joined the team, he can learn Control-M within 1 or 2 days. It is so much user friendly and so much easy to understand. Whereas CA7, if you see the CA7 format itself, you will find it as a kind of an Excel sheet usually. So that thing, the BMC people who introduced Control-M, they have removed that concept and made this tool more interactive. When going slides, we will see how Control-M looks and how the jobs are scheduled and all. Okay, so in this point, I'm trying to explain what is Control-M. Then to manage batch processing, different job scheduling tools are used by different organizations that allows data center staffs to manage and track the execution and output of the batch jobs. So using these tools, we are tracking job executions, and we can also see the output of a job, whether in which step the job has failed and all in details. So now we will come to the topic called as Control-M. So Control-M is one of the batch processing tool, which is very user friendly. Control-M manages and automates the setup, scheduling, and execution of a jobs in OS 390. That is our operating system 390 of mainframe environment. So who introduced Control-M? Control-M is a BMC product. So BMC has introduced many products in that. Control-M for mainframe, and their latest one of the product is called as BIM, Business Information Management, which is more advanced than this Control-M. It is like not only for mainframe, it is used widely, like you can use it on different Windows applications. You can make use of your Java jobs running differently. So BIM is a tool which is more advanced than Control-M, and the representation and all is completely different in BIM compared to Control-M. So nowadays most of the people are also using BIM tool and compared to Control-M. So main difference between Control-M and BIM tool is in BIM we will not see individual jobs. In BIM we can see the jobs accumulated in the form of a services. In Control-M we call it as an application setup, whereas in BIM they call it as a services. So BIM concept is completely different. So we'll concentrate only on Control-M today. So it can be obtained as a package with controller O or T, etc. So Control-M comes in two versions, that is controller O or T. So controller O is used for console and controller T for the tape management. So this screen here shows you how in Control-M initial when logged in, okay, when you log into Control-M in mainframes, okay, how the Control-M looks like. This is the first screen which shows you what actually an Control-M menu is and how the Control-M looks like. So how to log into this particular screen is in your ISPF given command called as TSOIOA. Okay, TSOIOA will take you if an Control-M is installed in your project, then TSOIOA command will take you to this screen. So in this screen there are different options which I will discuss in detail in further slides. So we will go with a short introduction of what these options are, important options which we'll be using on a day-to-day basis. First is the job schedule definition. Second is active environment. The third is condition and resources. Fifth is the log. Sixth is utilities. Seventh is manual condition. Eighth is the calendar definition and your variable database and CMEM definitions. In this, most commonly and frequently used is your option 2, option 3, option 4, option 5. Okay. Option 6 utilities production people depends upon the project, how your project is scheduled, but as per my experience I have not used option 6 utilities in most of the situations. Option 7 is your manual condition, that is like suppose there is one program which needs some input from your previous program, okay, that input we can add here in option 7 using manual conditions. Then calendar definition is an option used by the scheduling people who will schedule the jobs in Control-M. And most important here option is CMEM definition. So the CMEM definition is not been included in our PPT, but I will give you an overview of what is CMEM definition. So any questions in this slide up to here?
That you explained that control O is used to control the in which we are going to use control
Your
O
voice
for
is not audible, ma'am.
it's clear now. Hello.
Yeah, able to hear you. Yes, I'm able to hear you.
I just want to know that uh, like you have explained in the previous PPT that there are two versions of control M, that is control O and control T, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
which now we are use it is control O or control T.
This is control operation. So shall I
I have a
proceed to the
question.
next slide? Yes.
I have a question to solution. What is the command to invoke Control-M on ISPF? Is it TSOIOA?
Yeah, this TSOIOA, and one more thing is they will sometimes they will combine this Control-M with your different tools, and they will give you a common screen where through which you can log in. So the
Okay.
normal format where I have seen in 2 or 3 projects is they will use IOA.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so Okay. Now this screen here given you explains you about uh, how the jobs are scheduled in an control-M and how different libraries are given so that the proper path or proper imaging of a particular job which is going to be scheduled happens in a control-M. So just try to concentrate on the first line which says your library as prd1.bnvsm.schedule. Okay, at the right corner you can see table as #AA SKEL. Okay, so what does this mean is we are into this option now. Option 2, proc schedule definition. Okay, and you can see the screen in option 3 also. Okay, that I will explain you how you will see in option 3. So just try to understand what is written here. So memberlib is nothing but your PDS dataset. I think most of people know PS and PDS difference. So memberlib is nothing but sir, your voice was not audible. Okay, I will proceed with my explanation. So here I'm trying to explain you what is meant by memberlib. Your memberlib is nothing but an PDS dataset where you will find a collection of individual jobs. Okay, so when you open control-M, when you open any job in control-M, okay, so you can find in memberlib you can find the JCL library, okay, where your all production jobs will be there, and member name gives you an information of from this library which is the job which will come to the schedule. Okay, so from here JCL library prd1.bnvsm.jcl your member name job name 1, you consider it as a job name 1, so job name 1 will come to the schedule. So next important parameter here is the owner and the task type is a job. So this owner is a little bit of importance to us because this owner controls all the operation on this particular job. Suppose now I have a certain ID and then control-M is already installed on my system. Okay, now if I try to submit this job with my ID, okay, job name 1, if I try to submit job name 1 with my ID, okay, the job will not be submitted or it will be not restarted in control-M because this owner has to give me an access to submit this job. Okay, so in control-M there will be certain situations where a job will go in not submitted status. Okay, that time first thing we will check in production support project is whether this particular owner has an access to submit the job. Okay, then your next important thing which we have to understand is document and your deadline.
Hi, sorry to interrupt you. Can you please all of you can you please go mute except who is going to talk?
Okay, so let me continue. Your third important thing when it
Am I audible?
yes, you're audible.
I have a question. How to
Yes.
identify whether that owner has authority to execute a job?
Okay, that is an next thing. This owner will be internally associated with your job card user. Okay, so and this library. Okay, so when your job gets submitted, when you go to JHS and see, you can find this like this particular owner has an access or not, because see, this situation happens whenever there is a new job which is scheduled during the release into the production. Okay, most of the time this situation will happen when there are any new jobs which comes into schedule. Okay, that time what we usually do is we check this owner with your JCL job card user, that both will be mismatching. In JCL job card, there is a keyword parameter called as user. Okay, that user and this owner will mismatch. That you need to check. Okay, first thing you need to check that one. If those two are matching, then the job is not submitted due to some other issues, not with the user. Okay, so directly from here you cannot say. Okay, directly from here you cannot say that this owner is given wrong. Okay, to do that verification, you need to check this owner with your user parameter in the job card. Both should match.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I was in a parameter called as docmem and doclib. Okay, so this doclib and docmem in most of the application, you can see that this particular data set has all the details about what this job is, like who is the application owner of this job, who is the support group for this job, what are their phone numbers, which is the database team which is handling this job, then what is the priority of the job, then within how many minutes we need to engage a bridge if this job is failed. All such informations we can find in doclib, this doclib. And how to expand this doclib is you have to give an command here called as doc in this command prompt. Okay, give doc in the command prompt. From this library, this doclib will be expanded in a same screen only. Here itself it will be expanded. So this gives a general overview of how a job looks like, how the job schedule looks like in a control-M general parameters. I'm going to the next screen if there are no questions.
Kulbhushan, one question here.
Yes.
On the top screen, I'm seeing table name, right? So is there any entry will be made in any table?
Yeah, the table concept I have to explain you. I thought like just okay. Let me explain this table concept. So see, when it comes to control-M, the jobs are scheduled in a form of tables. Okay, like there is a job by name job A, and there is a job by name job C. Okay, and job B is a job which is in a different table. Now job A and job B will be scheduled in table AASKEL, whereas your job C will be in a different table. So this scheduling is again classified on how these jobs will run. Like suppose the two jobs are running at one time and the other job is running the next day. Okay, so today's cycle they want to schedule only this table with the two jobs. The other job will be scheduled from different table in some other day. So the classification of the jobs, they are further divided into tables. Whenever you open any schedule library, your first hierarchy will be a table inside a schedule library. Inside this table, there will be jobs.
Okay, so
The
these
first thing
tables
is
are not the DB2 tables, right? These are different based on
no,
scheduling. That you explained.
no.
Okay,
This
thank
table concept is not equal to your DB2 tables. Okay? This is
you.
control-M
Okay,
tables.
okay.
Okay, so your first hierarchy in Control-M is your scheduling library. Second is your table. Third is your job. Only these three things. One is schedule library. When it comes to Control-M, there comes a concept of schedule library. There comes a concept of table. Okay, and there comes a concept of job. When you see JCL library, there will be only your JCL stuff inside it. Okay, so I think I have answered your question. I will move to the next slide.
Kulbhushan, one question also here. Like one of time I encountered like one of the scheduling member of my team told that there is one overlap also on this screen. So
Yes, yes.
is overlap take priority on member lab?
Overlap library takes an priority when your job has failed in Control-M. Okay, that concept I will explain you in the next slides.
Okay, sure.
Okay, your second screen here explains is the job scheduling definition. So basic scheduling criteria are given here. So you can see months written, whereas 1, 2 up to 12. Okay, so this particular parameter explains like in 1 year how many months this particular job is scheduled, whereas days gives you the days of a month the job is scheduled to run, whereas W days explains you the weekdays the job has to run. That value can be 0 to 6, where 0 is Sunday, 6 being your Saturday. Then next parameter is months, that is months of an year the job has to run. Y is for yes and N is for no. So if you give an N parameter at month N, at month 10, so this job will not run on that particular month. Entire month it will not run. Okay, so dates mentions the date in mm and dd format. Then here max weight. Okay, so this max weight condition, we always face issues with max weight in production support, so this is an important thing. Okay, so let me explain this here in detail. So number of extra days within which to try to execute a job in active job file if the date of a job has passed. Okay, so what does it mean is, now suppose this job will stay in Control-M for 5 days. Okay, on 6th day when the new schedule comes to Control-M, this job will automatically disappear from Control-M. Okay, so to overcome such situation, this max wait parameter has been introduced, where the maximum wait time you can give is 90 days, that is 3 months. So if you change max weight to 90 for 90 days, your job will be there in Control-M. Whatever the next cycle comes or not comes, your job will always be there in Control-M for that particular audit. Okay, so let me go to the next one.
One question.
Yes.
So when we say max weight is 90, is it that job will be there, but it will not be executed, right?
See, that depends upon the status of a job. Your job is in wait schedule. Okay, if your max wait condition is 90, it will be there in the same status for 90 days. If it no, see, max weight equal to 90, when your job is failed also, it will not go from Control-M, not only in the wait schedule. If your job is failed also, it will be there for 90 days in Control-M.
Will it be executed
Okay,
if it is?
it is independent of your this one status of a job.
Okay.
Max weight is independent of the status of a job.
Thank you.
Ended OK status also, it will be there for 90 days. It will not disappear from controller. So I'll proceed with the next one. Here we have tried to explain runtime scheduling parameters, which defines runtime scheduling parameters are nothing but the parameter which defines you the submission criteria. The job is not submitted unless all these criteria are satisfied. Okay, so this screen explains you the in parameter, control parameter, resources, then from time, due time, and time zone. Okay, so what does in parameter here explains is a prerequisite condition for a job. Okay, suppose there are 10 jobs. Okay, 10 jobs in schedule, and job 7 is dependent on job 2. Okay, so if you open job 7 in your Zoom panel, then the in condition you will see the job name of job 2. So what does it means is your job 7 will start executing only once your job 2 will be ended. Okay, once your job 2 is ended, okay, it will post the condition to your job 7 and your job 7 will start executing. It is like this conditional coding parameter in JCL through which we try to control the steps. Here we are using this in and out conditions. So your next parameter. So this concept is clear in conditions. It is important one. Okay. So I'll go with control. Control shared or exclusive control over and resources required for the job. Then next parameter is resource. Quantitative resources required for the job. Then time plus date gives the time limit from and until for a job submission. Then due out plus days, time by which the job must be finished executing. Then confirm equal to yes or no indicates specifying whether the manual confirmation is required before the job can be submitted. Okay, so in this, one more important parameter after in condition is your from time. Okay, so this from time, sometimes the job in control-M, all the in conditions will be satisfied. Okay, but only this time condition will be left and the job will be in your wait schedule. So sometimes the application team will start communicating with the support team saying them to remove this from time condition. So once you remove this from time condition, your job will start executing. Similar cases is with your in conditions. So there will be situations where your in condition is satisfied, but still your job is not executing. So that time you need to come here and remove the in conditions written in this parameter and restart your job again. I mean to say free the job again, not restart, free the job again.
Kulbhushan, one question here. Suppose sometimes we in a batch support we stuck with the condition like we batch is not moving because it is waiting for some manual condition. Some job is waiting for some condition, right? So this
Right,
is what in condition we have to bypass the condition and proceed with the batch.
right. That is commonly faced issue. That is why I said in conditions. What will happen is sometimes the conditions will be not posted, or if you do backtracking, you will find that your job is dependent on some of the jobs. Okay, that job has ended not okay. Okay, those jobs are failed. So because of the previous job failed, your job will be not submitted and it will be late and affecting your BAU or the day-to-day activities. That time what you have to do is contact the owner of a previous job, the support team of the previous job. Say them that the condition is not posted, our job is waiting. Okay, you either force complete that job and force the condition, or you take a call to remove the in condition of a job, and your job will start executing.
Okay, Kulbhushan, so this screen will come up from the option 2 only, which
No,
you
this
showed.
this will come in option 3 when you give Z in front of a job. In
That.
option 3, when you give Z in front of a job, all these screens are part of the Z option from here.
Okay. Okay. In front of job, instead of okay, I'll have to give Z instead of J. For J, we'll go to open the job.
Correct. See, when you open and Control-M, give option 3. Okay, it will give you all the production cycle jobs. Okay.
Okay.
In that, for the particular O date and order ID of a job, jobs are classified by O date and order ID. Okay, your order ID
Yeah,
will be
correct.
unique for every job.
Yeah, correct.
So in front of that job, you give an option Z.
Okay.
Okay, once you give option Z, that gives you a zoom panel. That zoom panel shows you which is your schedule library, which is your JCL library, which is your override library, and all these options here given up to here.
Okay, sure. Thank you so much.
Okay, so now the next is your post-processing parameters. These are actions to be performed after a job execution, generally depend upon the result of a job execution. That is, certain action may require when a job ends successfully, certain action may be required when a job fails, depending upon the reason for the failure. Certain actions may be required in any and all situation. Okay, so post processing is nothing but whenever any of your job is failing, it will not post the condition for your dependent jobs. Okay, in this situation, what you have to do? So these are your post processing parameters. First one is your out. Prerequisite condition to be added or deleted when a job is finished. Okay, so suppose there is a job, I already explained, like job 2 is posting some condition for job 7. Okay, so that condition you can see in out parameter. Whenever any job completes, what is the condition it is posting to the dependent job, so that the dependent job will start executing. That will be written under out parameter. Then auto archive equal to yes or no indicates specifying whether to automatically archive the sys data. This is not important for us for the application production support. Okay, then max rerun, number of reruns to be performed for a job. If do rerun is required. Okay, then interval, amount of time minutes to wait between a rerun or between the cycle of a cyclic job. Okay, so interval concept comes when it comes to an cyclic job. Okay, in Control-M there is a concept called a cyclic job, where you can make your job to submit again after 5 or 10 minutes of time. It will again get submitted, and it will post some of the files, or it will generate some of the GDG generations and all. In such situation, this cyclic job concept comes, and this interval plays an important role there. So I'll go to the next screen. Still post-processing parameters are there. Next is your PGMST or PROC-ST. Program steps, and optionally the proc steps to check for a specified code criteria. That is, in a job there will be some of the proc steps, and there will be job steps or program steps. So which step to check for the condition code, that we can control here. So see, on program, in the screen it is showing on PGMST any step. Okay, and there if you give a step called as J step 6, that is suppose JS006 is your job step. So if you have coded here less than condition code of 17, so your program will execute if it gets a condition code less than 17. That particular step will execute. Then next is code execution events, event codes such as your U0234, SB37, C004, then condition code less than 17, etc. Then in production support, when there are priority 1 jobs, okay, when the job is of priority 1, these conditions will play important role. Do mail, then do not okay, do okay, or do remedy. Do mail plays an important role for priority 1 jobs, where the application support will get an email as soon as the job fails. So in do email, you have to give your application support group email details. So when the job fails in a particular step, that application team will get an email. Then do not okay defines the termination status of a job as not okay. So like in do not okay, whenever your job fails in Control-M, you can see the job has failed in a not okay status. Then do okay defines the event within a job, then okay. Then do remedy opens and remedy help desk ticket.
What you told about codes, can you please say again?
This code is suppose there is a job step called a JS003. Okay, that job, if you want to control it through Control-M, that particular job step, then you can control here in Control-M by giving a particular condition code. Like above that condition code, this step should not execute. Here example they have given it as 17. That
Okay,
step will not execute if it gets a written code above 17.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
So next parameter is shout when not okay. Then okay, next parameter is shout. Message to be sent to a specified destination in a specified situation. Like shout when your job is not okay. That time, what message it is given below in the MS parameter. That percentage is your auto edit variables. Okay, that again comes in a different concept where you use different libraries, and in that library you will write what messages to be sent and all. So using this percentage, that particular job and that library, everything will be picked and an message will be sent. So percentage stands for your auto edit variable, and MS stands for the message where you will write what is required. So here particular job name, then append 3 in step, but again it is auto edit variable, gives you the step name, and your written code they are using again auto edit variable which gives you the job written code. So this message will be sent when it is not okay. Then shout when your job is late submitted. Okay, this late submission concept comes when your job has crossed the time limit. Suppose here example they have given it as 23:45. Okay, so after 11:45 also, if your job is not submitted, then you will get an shout of late submission, where or to whom you will get, to the operators who are monitoring the job. And what message to be sent is given under MS parameter. Okay, so same thing I have explained here. When one parameter gives situation under which to send a message. Then 2 is to destination of a message. Then URGN is urgency. So urgency determines the priority level of a message. Valid values under urgency is R, that is your regular default. Regular default. So that is urgency is given here at the last column. URGN equal to R. So U is for urgent and V is for very urgent, whereas R is for regular. So here is our important option 3, which most of the application team, production support team, DB2 team, any team which is monitoring the jobs in Control-M, the first option they will use is option 3, that is active job environment or active job file. Okay. So from here, our day-to-day production support activity starts from option 3. So if a job is scheduled for a particular day, a copy of its job scheduling definition is placed in this file. What this statement is saying is, suppose you have a job A and B, and it is scheduled today at around 12 p.m. Okay, so what Control-M will do around 12 p.m. system time, Control-M will fetch these two jobs from a particular table in a scheduling library. From that schedule library, from a particular table, your Control-M will pull a copy of this jobs into this active job file, that is option 3. So how does a job get to AJF is via a daily load job. So manually forced or forced by CMEM, that is DSN events, job arrival or job opens, forced by an another job. Okay. So in this, most important thing what you have to understand is via daily load jobs. Okay, so when there is a huge amount of cycle which is scheduled to come on a daily basis in AJF, that is your active job file. Okay, there comes a concept of a job called as master scheduler or master job. Okay, so in various applications there will be different names given for this master job. For some of the projects I have seen, it is given as MAS 10 or some master TBL will be the master table from where this master 10 job will be running. So every day, whenever any new day cycle is coming to your this AJF, first job running will be this master jobs. So what this master jobs will do, they will bring the particular day schedule of the jobs to your AJF. Not only one application, if there are thousands of applications in a particular project, all those application, how many jobs are there, all those jobs will be brought to your AJF at 12 system time, that is 00.00. Like suppose if you are in India and handling some of the application projects, so if you give TSO time in your system, there you will see 24 hours, that is 0000. At that time your new batch cycle will start. It is universal in all the projects. Okay, everywhere at around 12 p.m. IST, that is the new batch cycle will be loaded into Control-M. In time, that concept we call it as. Okay, so how the new day process will happen is at back end there are master jobs which will bring all this schedule to Control-M. Now there will be a situation where due to some mistakes by the Control-M scheduling team, okay, the master job schedule is scheduled twice in a day. Suppose at 12 p.m. mass job loads one cycle of all the application. Again, after some time, mass job will load one more cycle of all the application. Okay, so here starts the main work of this console operations, batch operations. They will hold individual jobs which are loaded twice in control and production cycle, and they will start deleting all the jobs one by one. So this is frequently occurred issue in most of the projects where your scheduler is loaded twice, or there are situations where console people will give your time command which needs to be given on a particular helper. By mistake, they will give on different helpers. Then that schedule, because your system time will be changed, then all the tables which needs to be loaded at a particular time will get loaded well in advance. Then all the mess up will happen in option 3. Okay, so understanding of why a daily load job, that is master scheduler, is very important. Then second is how the jobs are forced to. Option 3 is manually forcing. Suppose I want a job A, to come to AJF, that is active job file, today. Now when I go and I check my cycle, I find that job A is not there. So now what I will do, I will go to option 2, schedule library. I will go here, option 2, this one, option 2, schedule library. Then I will give this schedule, this schedule library, and this table details. Okay, then I will get a list of a job. From that job, I will force a job called as job A into production. So how I will force is, in front of that job, I will give an character F. Character F stands for forcing a job from a schedule library. So your manually force is nothing but you are manually bringing some job into your AJF. Okay, your next option is forced by CMEM. Okay, Control-M event management. CMEM stands for. In that, there are two concepts, 2 to 3 concepts. One is your DSN event, one is your job arrival, one is your job event. So CMEM is this option in the first screen. The option C, CMEM definition, event manager rule definition. So this is nothing but a data set, okay, and PS data set, not a PDS. This is an PS data set. In the data set, what we will do is, suppose I want some 10 jobs to run today, 10 jobs to come to AJF, but depending upon certain files sent by Unix application which are not mainframe, okay, certain files sent by other applications, non-mainframe applications. So when such files comes to your mainframe box, you want certain jobs to run. So for that, what I will do in this CMEM definition, there will be a data set associated for your particular application. In that data set, I will add this job and I will add that file. So when that file comes to your system, that job will be forced to AJF. Similarly, job arrival and job arrival. Then your next is forced by another job, that is your in condition out condition concept. Then next I try to explain is only jobs in AJF are the candidates for submission by CTL and monitor. Okay, this point is important. Whatever jobs are there in AJF, that is your option 3, active job environment, this option. This second one, after job schedule, active environment display is there, no, that option. Whatever jobs are there in AJF, only those jobs you can restart. You can restart, or you can force complete, or you can hold and delete those jobs. Only jobs which are there in AJF. You cannot hold and delete anything from your schedule library and tables. Okay, you will be not having access also, and you cannot delete. So one more thing when it comes to AJF is certain application team will be given access to restart the jobs on their own, and certain application team has to contact their support team to do the restart, or they want to do some JCL, they want to add some DD parameters, DD overrides and all such thing. Application developers or application monitoring team will be not having access. There will be a sub team to whom they need to contact when a job fails. That team will assume that particular job, will see all the scheduling definitions. Then they do J in front of a job which will open the JCL. Then they will add the overrides what an application team needs. Directly the production control access to the AJF jobs in certain applications they will not give. There will be a separate team for it. So from here, all the important commands which we are using in option 3 are explained. Okay. So Z stands for zoom. So what is zoom is, there is a job called a job A in option 3. Okay. Then if you want to see this screen, if you want to see these all screens, this screen especially, then you use Z in front of a job. Then it will open this screen. In this, there is override library concept that I will explain when it comes for job restart. Okay, so then doc I have already explained you. Doc is a command which will expand the doc tip. Okay, now if you want to see a particular job for why it is waiting or why it has still not executed, or you want to see what are the in conditions of a job, then you can give a question mark in front of a job in option 3. Your next is yes. Yes stands for statistics, which gives you overall 1 month the time duration within how many minutes the job is completed and what was the maximum time the job took to complete, overall statistics of a job. Then option B gives you an permission to delete a job. Then option H gives you an permission to hold the job. Hold in the sense you don't want the job to execute until that hold is removed. So in that situation, please mute it. Okay, in that situation you have to give H in front of the job. Then F stands for free a job from an held status. Then O stands for force completion of a job. C stands for confirm a job, that is in wait confirmation. Okay, see, this hold, free are interdependent. Okay, hold, free and delete, these three things. Okay, these all are interdependent. So once you held a job, okay, the next thing, if you want to remove that held status, you have to give F in front of a job. That is, it will free the job and it will bring it to the normal status. Okay, then delete. Okay, whenever you want to delete a job, the first option you have to use is H. You have to hold that job, then only you can delete the job from option 3. Directly you cannot delete job in option 3. Okay, then one more is force completing and forcing a job. This is important. Most of the time we get confused between force completion of a job and forcing a job. Forcing a job is nothing but you are manually bringing a job from your schedule library and table to your option 3, that is active job, this one, active job file. And for that also you are using a command called as f, the same one which you use in AJF to free a job. The same when you use inside a schedule library, that will change into forcing a job. Okay, this you have to be little bit careful. F when used in option 3 represents a free a job. F when used in schedule library table represents forcing a job. Now what is force completing a job? Force completing is nothing but when your job is failed in your application cycle, you will give O in front of that job in option 3, which will make that job go into ended OK force complete status. The job status will change from ended not OK to ended OK force completed status. What it will internally do is it will post the out conditions for your all dependent jobs. So suppose there are 50 jobs which are dependent on job A and that job A is failed. When you backtrack it, you will find that job A is failed. In this situation, you will give O in front of job A and you will force complete. As soon as this your job status changes from ended not okay to ended okay force completed, all your dependent 50 jobs will start executing. Okay, so option 3 is your wait confirmation. Now see, this is also an important option where most frequently used option. Suppose if there is a job has failed in your option 3, okay, and to make that job run successfully, your production team or application team want to bring or want to load some of the new jobs in your AJF, that is option 3. So that time what the production team or application team should do is they should make sure that that job comes in a wait confirmation status in AJF. So it will be in pink when it comes to AJF. So wait confirmation is nothing but that job when comes to AJF, it will wait for your action to be performed on it so that it will start executing. So if you want to make any JCL changes when it comes to option 3, before confirming, you can do all the JCL changes. Then once all your errors are fine, then you give C in front of the job. It will confirm the job and your job will start executing. So in the next slide, I have tried to explain all these options. In AJF, that is active job environment file option 3. Someone asked this question, that is Z before the job will take you to zoom screen option of a job. That is in AJF. Now there is this job by name. I'm not given any name just for safer side. So if you give Z in front of that job, which is in wait confirmation. See now this is a newly loaded job by production support team. Okay. So that this job will take some actions and create some of the files and all. So the production support team has loaded this job newly. So when a job is loaded newly in option 3, it will come in wait confirmation and it will wait for our manual confirmation to execute. Okay, in this situation, first thing is give Z in front of the job. So once you give Z in front of the job, it will give you this below screen zoom panel. So this zoom panel will explain you the JCL library, the schedule library, the table. Okay, that I will explain now here. See, the first line I have already explained it. Mem name stands for your member name, your JCL member name, and your mem library stands for your JCL production library where your JCL code is there. Owner is the one which has access to run this job. So task type is job. Now next is your schedule library. So in this schedule library, there is a table called as CCMVS, #CCMVS. In this schedule library, there is a table called as CCMVS. In this table, you can find this job definition, schedule definition, and not the JCL code. Okay. When you in Control-M, when you open any of the table, okay, you will not directly find the JCL code of it. You will just find the member name. Okay. So how the hierarchy is: first your schedule library, second comes your table. Okay. Third comes your member name, and outside of your Control-M comes your JCL library and your member name. There won't be schedule library and table outside the Control-M. When you go for 3.4, it is only your JCL library and your JCL code. Inside Control-M, it is schedule library and table. Okay, so next important thing is this doc.mem and doc.lib. So here the previous first slide I tried to express, right? So in the command prompt here in the command prompt, when you have to give, sorry, here only it will come, that command prompt. So you have to give a command called as doc, like this. When you give a command called as doc, it will give all the details of this particular doc member, that is this job, from this doc library. I tried to explain same thing here. Please mute it. Please mute it. Someone is attending from outside. Please mute them. Okay. The next option is holding a job to free a held job. Okay. So a job in a newly loaded job, how to hold it is give an option H in AJF, that is your option 3. So this wait confirmation job will change its status in held wait confirmation, like this. When you give H, the job will be held. Okay, so here you should ask one question here: what is difference between wait confirmation and held? Why we are holding a job which is in wait confirmation? So to do any changes to newly loaded job in Control-M, whether it is JCL changes or whether it is changes with your override library or your scheduling library, okay, all those changes can be done only when you hold a job in whatever status the job initially is there. If you want to make the changes to the job, you have to give H in front of it and hold it first. So I'll go to the next one. Then to free a held job, place F before the held job and hit enter. Now here I have given held H in front of the job. Then I will zoom the job and I will do some modification, whether it is max weight or the shout parameter which I explained. See, suppose now I have held the job here in AJF. Now what I will do is I will go here, this screen. Okay, I will go to these parameters and I will change all these parameters to whatever is required. After doing the changes, I will do F3 and I will come out of it. I will do F3 and I will come out of it. So once you come out of it, if you want to bring the job to normal wait confirmation status, you have to give F in front of the job. So it will free the held status and it will bring the job to wait confirmation. So any questions up to here, up to this slide?
Kulbhushan, one question here. Can you please explain the option C? I'm little bit confused between option C and F actually.
You're saying wait confirmation.
Yeah, confirm that job in wait confirmation. I got the option like to hold the job we give H, and to free that is F, option F. But I'm not able to get option C actually.
See, option C is confirm a job that is in wait confirmation. Okay, so we will go with this situation only. Now your job is in wait confirmation. Okay, you have loaded a new job in your production cycle. It comes in wait confirmation. Now you will ask me, Kulbhushan, I want to give some overrides to the this one JCL code inside this. So what Kulbhushan will do, he will first hold this job. Okay, he will
Okay.
hold this job. Then what I will do is I will come here, and this override library will be there right here. This override library. There will be
Okay.
one more temporary library given here under description. Okay, there will be one more temporary library given in description. That library will be appended with your order ID and ODate.
Okay.
So that library will be always an unique library for whatever jobs are loaded, because it will be having the order ID. So as order ID is unique, what I will do, I will copy that library and I will place it here in place of override library. Why? Because this override library is common for all the jobs. So without changing this override library, if you are doing any overrides in the JCL, that overrides will be reflected to all the jobs which has same name. Suppose there are 2 or 3 jobs with different O dates, okay, different O dates and different order ID. There are suppose 10 jobs which are scheduled with the same name with different batch. See, O date concept comes with a particular batch. So suppose there are 10 jobs which are of different O date but with the same name. And without changing this override library, if you do any JCL overrides, it will be reflected not only for today's cycle. If there are any jobs which are scheduled in Control-M for tomorrow's cycle also, all those changes will be reflected in all the 10 jobs because your job name is same. So to overcome this concept, the Control-M has provided you an additional library here, which will be appended with your O date as well as your order ID. So I will copy that and I will place it here. Then I will do the JCL overrides what you have asked me. After doing the JCL overrides, now what I will do is I will remove this held status. I will give F and I will remove the held status. Now your job comes in wait confirmation. Okay. Now what you will tell me, okay, Kulbhushan, all the changes are fine. Please, I want that job to execute now. Okay.
To
So
remove
there
the
is
wait.
an so there is an control on your job from your side, that whenever you want that job to execute, that time only it should start executing. So your
By
wait
giving the option
confirmation
C.
is, yes, your wait confirmation is waiting for the confirmation from your side. So now you will tell Kulbhushan, please start executing that job. What I will do, I will come here and I will give option C in front of the job. So once I give C, the job will go in submission status. First it will be in submission status, which will be in yellow color, then it will be in executing status, then it will go into ended. Okay.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your next parameter is to check the reason why or for what is the job waiting. Okay. So what we have to do, like given question mark in front of a job in option 3. Suppose the job is in wait confirmation, I given question mark in front of it. So what it will do is it brings you to the job scheduling analysis panel where we can identify the reason or the condition that the job is waiting for to start execution. So once you give a question mark, it will give the job is in wait confirmation. Second, if there is any time limit, it will give the time limit at this particular time. If you confirm this job also, the job will go in wait schedule. It will not start executing in this situation because it is waiting for a time condition. The job will still be in a wait execution. Now your question only we will take. You will tell me after doing the JCL changes, you will tell me, Kulbhushan, please run this job. So I will give C in front of it. Okay. Once I give C in front of it, this wait confirmation status will go and your job will be in wait schedule status. That time you will again ask me, Bhushan, the job is not running still. That time what I will do is I will give a question mark in front of the job, which will show me there is a time limit of 22 until 8. So the next what you will do is you will tell Bhushan remove that time condition. Okay, so remove the time condition, what I have to do is again I have to hold the job first. I will again give this option, H option. Okay, then the job will go in held wait schedule, not in held wait confirmation. Because I have already confirmed the job, the next status of a job is wait schedule because it is waiting for this time. Now to remove this time, I will again hold the job. Okay, I will hold the job, then it will go in held wait schedule. Then I will go here. There is somewhere a time parameter also given. Okay, so see here. Time parameter is there, right? Like that, there will be a time parameter given. So I will hold that and I will remove this time parameter. Then I will come back again here to this status, to the held wait schedule status. Then again I will give F. So if you give F, then that job will be freed and there are no conditions for that job is waiting. The job will start executing that time. The above panel states that the job is waiting for time condition and the user confirmation to execute. So next is the question you have asked is confirming a job. To confirm a job, give C before a job. So once you give C before any wait confirmation job, it will ask you for an option again, just to confirm it back. So there I will give option Y and hit enter. Okay, the below confirmation panel appears in the panel at option confirm, hit Y. So I will give Y and I will hit enter. Then your job will go from wait confirmation to wait schedule. This one here, blue color, it will come. So this color designation is also very important in option 3. There are around 4 to 5 colors depending upon status of a job. So this also I will try to explain. Whenever any job newly scheduled into Control-M, if it is in wait schedule, the job will be in a blue color, given like job is in wait schedule. Okay, if any of the job which is in wait confirmation, it will be in pink color. Okay, if any of a job which is executing or wait execution status or active status, okay, all those jobs will be in yellow color. And a job which is late submitted or ended not okay or JCL error, all those jobs will be in red color. Okay, so deleting a job from AJ. To delete a job from a schedule, first hold the job and give D before the job and hit enter. So if you want to delete any of the job from option 3, first thing is you cannot directly give D. First you have to give H and hold the job. Once you held the job, then you give D in front of the job will be deleted. One important thing is, again, this is access related issues. Some of the owners of the team will be given direct access to delete, or some of the application team has to contact the support team. Those team will hold and delete the jobs. So now after all this, see here command prompt is there, no? There in command prompt, if I give yes or if I give show, okay, so that will open you the screen. This is called as a filter in control-M. So yes is a command line of AJF will take us to the show screen. That is, yes stands for show the filter or show screen. So how you can go to this option is, once you open this control-M first screen, this screen, okay, once you open the first screen, give option 3, then your option 3 will take you here, okay, any of the job, like this there will be thousands of jobs which will be there in different status. Now here you give yes, okay, here you give yes in command prompt, yes or show, then it will pull you this screen. Okay, so what does this screen explain is, you can create your own filters for your monitoring of the job. So below given is a filter condition of different status of a job. Different status in the sense wait schedule, wait confirmation, wait submission, submitted, wait execution, then executing status, then the job with table active, then some of the jobs which are disappeared. So all those things you can control here, and you can create your own filter. Now see, I will give you one example. There are some 100 jobs for me. In that, 4 jobs are very critical for me, and those jobs I want to monitor whether it is ended okay or ended not okay. Okay, I need to monitor whether it is ended not okay. That time what I will do, I will keep the wait schedule option as Y, wait confirmation as Y, wait submission as Y, okay, submitted as Y. Okay, what I will do is, ended okay I will make it as N, and ended not okay I will make it as Y, and all the other options I will keep it like that only. So what it will display to me is, it will give me a filter where only my jobs which are ended not okay will be displayed to me. Any questions in this screen? This is very important. You will face this issue when there are many jobs which have failed or which have disappeared. So if you have any questions in this one, please ask me. Okay, in an above screenshot, N is mentioned at option deleted. Okay, I have given option N, where it is. Okay, see, option N as a deleted. Okay, option deleted. This states that the jobs that are deleted from AGF will not be shown. Okay, so now suppose this is your normal situation and you want this situation on a daily schedule. You don't want deleted jobs on your daily schedule. So you give N here, and in this filter is there, no? In this filter you give your application name and you give FL1 or 3 letters of your application, and you give FL1 and you give Y here. So there is a new filter created for you by your first 3 characters of our application, then ending with FL1. Okay, so whenever you log in tomorrow or day after tomorrow, directly open the screen, give that filter name here, give option Y, it will directly pull you all the jobs which will be not having any deleted jobs. No need to come to here again do the changes. Okay, clear here? Shall I move to next screen? Okay, view the statistics of a job. To view the statistics of a job, give yes before the job and hit enter. Okay, we will be able to see the statistics of a job like your average run time on a particular day, etc. So if you give yes on an ended OK job, it will show you the overall what was the maximum time last time the job run it took for CPU time it took for execution, and on a day-to-day basis what is the average time this job is taking to execute. Option is so viewing the log of a job. Okay, see this is next very important thing which we will face in production. Suppose now I am an operator working on couple of jobs. By mistake I have restarted a job from a wrong step. Okay, or there is a situation where you want to backtrack a particular job. Suppose this PTS MD0N1 is one job. Okay, I want to see last 1 month log of this job, like what was the action taken, when it was ended okay, when it was not ended okay, which particular step it was ended okay, not ended okay. All those things you can see by giving an option L. So once you give option L, the next thing what you have to do is in the date mentioned here, you have to give the range of a date like 1 month or 2 months. That all log will be pulled here. And once the log is pulled, you give in command you give M, that is your alphabet M, then you press F7. So it will take you top of this screen. From there you can start your analysis. Suppose I have restarted a particular job wrongly today. I will say I have not restarted it. Application team will say, Bhushan, you have restarted it wrongly. I will say I have not restarted it wrongly. So in ended not okay or ended okay job, you give L in front of it and give F and find my REXX ID. Give F and give the REXX ID. Then it will take you to my REXX ID and it will give a keyword called as performed. Okay, performed by this REXX ID. Rerun or restart performed by this REXX ID, or force complete performed by this REXX ID. So such log analysis you can do by giving option L. Then your option O, force completing a job. To force complete a job, give O before the job. See, I already tried to say you that there is a job which is entered not okay, which is adding some condition to the 15 jobs. Now, if you want that condition to be added to all the dependent jobs, you give O in front of the job and it will ask you for an reconfirmation. In that reconfirmation in force okay, you have to give Y. Okay, then your job status will change from ended not okay to force complete. A new panel asking for the condition to be posted after its force okay will appear. Okay, this force completed and would appear as forced ended okay on AJF. So this ended not okay status will go and that status will change to forced ended okay, and it will post the condition to your next jobs. So now global view of Control-M. To see the global view, give V in an command option of the AJF. Control-M global view. It will give this one. This actually this is not used in application or production support most of the projects. So this is an additional screen. So your next important and the last topic here is your restart procedure in Control-M. Okay, so whenever any job goes in ended not okay status, application team will say you to give some overrides on a job. Once the overrides are given, then application team will tell you to restart a job in Control-M. So this concept is explaining you how to restart a job and type of restart. So your first is restart with Control-R, that is your Control-M restart. The second thing is without Control-R. Okay, so first we will see restart with Control-R. So restart from top with Control-R, restart from a particular failed step in Control-R. So in Control-M restart, there are two situations where application team, after doing some changes, it will say you, okay, you please submit the job again. So submit the job again is nothing but you are rerunning the job. That is, you are again restarting the job from your step 1. Okay, then your application team will tell you to restart a job from a particular step. Suppose at step 10 they have done some JCL modifications. So now they want you to restart that job from a particular step. So even that we can do in Control-M. Then without controller restart. So restart from top without controller. Again there is one more, restart from a particular step without controller. Here also there are two options, from a step or from top. So first now we will go with the screens where it will explain you your Control-M restart. This is an option. Okay, so in again this one command comes in option 3 AJF. Okay, restart from top without controller. Okay, so see a particular job is failed. Now application team will tell me please restart that job from top. From top is the instructions given by application team. So what I will do, I will go to option 3. Then I will give this job name. Then I will give R in front of this job. Okay, give R before the job and hit enter. Then restart option panel appears. Give Y in confirm option and N in restart as shown below and hit enter. The job is restarted from top. So if you give R here, then you will be, this particular screen will be pulled where you have to give please confirm equal to Y with restart equal to N, and if there are any steps here already present, you have to remove those steps. Then hit enter. This job will be submitted from top. Okay, then restart from a step. Okay, restart from a step without controller. Okay, without controller. Then hold the job and copy the JCL of a job to be restarted to a temporary library by mentioning in an over library as mentioned below. See, there were some questions about override library. Okay, now see, there is one job failed. Now application team will tell me to do some JCL modification and restart that job. What I will do is I will change this override library, okay, to whatever library is required. Hold the job and copy the JCL of a job to be restarted to a temporary library by mentioning it in a override library as mentioned below. Okay, so this is the new library I am giving here. Then enter J before the job. The JCL of a job can be viewed. See, here you are giving R, right? R. Instead of R, you give J. Once you give J, it will take you to the JCL of a job. Okay, now include the restart parameter in a job card of the JCL, save and execute. So see, this is restart without control-M. Okay, restart without control-M, that is without using this panel y comma n. How you will do is, the JCL which you want to restart it, you copy it in a temporary library, and that library you place in place of your application override library. By default, there will be an override library given by application teams. So you copy your library in place of override library. Okay, then next is, after doing that, you give J here. So once you give J, it will pull you the JCL. In JCL, you have to go with normal job card restart. Okay, then enter J before a job. The JCL of a job is expanded. The JCL of a job can be viewed. Now include the restart parameter in a job card of a JCL. So here I am including restart equal to proc.step name. That is a particular proc step name. Like suppose JS step 1 is a job step which is calling your proc A. So what I will do is, I will give JS step 1 dot, inside that proc whatever step is there, that step I will give to restart. So now restart the job from top without controller as mentioned earlier. The job will pick the restart parameter in JCL and will start from the step. See, after giving this restart parameter here, what you can do is, you use this option, restart from top, that is y comma n. Whenever you are giving any job card restart, in control-M, you are always restarting it from top, y comma n. Okay, your next is restart a job with controller from a particular step. Now this job is failed. Now you give R in front of a job. Then restart option panel appears. Give Y in confirm option and then question mark in a restart option. Okay, so once you give a question mark here in a restart option, it will give you the list of the steps from where you can restart. Okay, a step list panel is shown as below. Give F before the step we need to restart from and exit from the panel. That is, you have to give F here. Give F here and hit enter and do an F3. So it will reflect your particular step, that is a SAS step which you want to execute here. Then you give Y and Y. Earlier we gave Y and question mark, which will pull you all the steps. In that you have to select the step which is failed. Give F in front of the step. Here it is giving option. F is for from, T is for to, and O is for only. See, now if you want to select a range of steps, that is from step 2 to step 5, then you give F at step 2 and you give T at step 5. Only those steps will be included. If you want to include only one step in between, then you give O, that only one step will be included. Or if you want to include all the steps from the failed step, you give F. So we are giving F here now. Then after that you change that confirm equal to Y with restart also equal to Y. So now if you select the first step from the restart step list panel, the job would be started from top with control R. Else from any other step it would be restarted. That is, give Y and Y here and it will restart from this SAS step. So this was a general introduction to control-M. any questions are there, you can ask.
Kulbhushan, can you show us the last screen, that is how to restart from a particular step?
This one, job card restart, you understood? No, from particular step is this one. Okay, this option. Okay, this one you are asking, right?
Yes.
Okay, see, now if you want to restart a job from a particular step, first you give R in front of the job. Okay, then it will
Okay.
pull you this panel. Okay, now please confirm you keep it Y only. With restart is there, no? There you given question mark. Okay, then
Okay.
it will give you the option of all the steps which are present, and in that the steps which are failed, the steps which are not yet executed, like this.
Okay.
Okay, here I have given an example of only one step which is failed. That is your SAS program step, prog step S1. Okay, in this
Okay.
step the job is failed. Now if you want to restart from this step, all the steps, okay, you give F here. Or if you want to restart a set of steps, okay, then you give
Okay.
F here, and you give T to the last step where up to where you want to execute. So it will start from SAS step and it will take last step as a step where you have given T. Now,
Okay.
if you want to execute only one step in between of the existing steps, then you give O, which will take only that step.
Okay. Got it. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
After that giving, you have to hit enter. Then only that will be locked. Then it will appear here. If you won't hit enter, if you just do F3, then that step is not locked and it will not appear here. Okay, so once that step appears here, you change this two parameters to Y, again hit enter, then your job will start executing from this step.
Okay. Kulbhushan, one more thing. When we are restarting without control R. So in that case, we are copying the job to the overlap library manually, right?
Correct. Correct.
And then we are
This
going to the then we are seeing the job through option J, and then we are editing, giving the restart instruction manually.
correct.
Okay.
See, you do your JCL changes in this. Suppose this is your data set, okay, where you
Yeah.
have the new JCL changes. Now you want that job to be executed from top or from a particular step. Okay,
Yes.
you are writing all that JCL inside this library and you are giving to
Okay.
Kulbhushan. What Kulbhushan will do, that data set he will paste here in override library. Okay, I will paste that data set here. I will remove the existing override library and I will give your data set here. After that, I will do F3.
Okay.
Then I will come to here, this screen. After doing F3, I will come to this screen. Instead of giving R, I will give J here.
Okay.
Instead of giving R, I will give J here. Then it will open this screen. Job. Your
Okay.
job which you have copied in this data set.
Okay.
This
It will
job it will
open the
open.
job in the newly data set, right? Not in the member lib.
Correct. It will open from this newly data set.
Okay.
Not
Thank
from this mem name. Yeah.
you.
This it
Got it.
will
Thank you
open.
so much.
Okay. Any other questions?
Hey, hi, Kulabhushan.
Hi, sir.
You're done? Anything
Yeah, I'm
else
done.
from your side? So, team, do you have any queries on Control-M? Not only on this content. So, apart from these topics or these points, if you have any queries, you are good to ask him. So, whatever he can do, he will try to give the answers. Right. So Kulabhushan, if you want to share your mail ID, you can ping in the chat window so that they can get, and if they have any queries on Control-M, they will reach